Hey friends, welcome to How to Write Good. We're going to be talking about how to write. I'm going to kind of go through what I'm doing to write things. I'm writing a novel right now, but I've written plays and other stuff, and I'm going to kind of go through my process of how I write and share with you that, and maybe it'll be helpful. I'm also going to present you with some writing exercises, things that you can do to practice writing, or even like little helpful tips that I've found were useful for me, and they might be useful for you. Today we're going to talk about character names. So we're writing fiction, and when you write fiction, you got to make up a character name. They don't exist. They don't have a name. They're just a guy without a name, or a girl without a name. A horse with no name. So I wrote another piece you can find on my site there if you want, called The Devil's Candy, and there's a young character in there, a young boy named Frank Flint. Now, I named him that because, for a number of reasons. One, I enjoyed the alliteration of Frank Flint. It was a children's story, spooky story that I told to kids, and it was fun to say. Frank Flint had kind of good feel in the mouth there, and that's something you want to keep in mind if you want to read your stories out loud. Then it flow. You feel how it flows, or doesn't flow. And if it doesn't flow, fix it. So Frank Flint was his name. I chose Frank also because I had been listening at the time to a Tom Waits album called Frank's Wild Years, which is a good album. Take a listen. It's a good album. Now Flint was, I don't remember exactly why I put the name Flint in there, except to start with an F, and it was short, so it was kind of two one-syllable names, Frank Flint. But in the story, actually, it turns out, too, this came up later in the story, that Frank makes a deal with the devil, and then he goes into the woods. And spoilers. Oh, spoilers. If you don't want to know how the story ends, spoilers. Okay, ironically, he starts the woods on fire. And what starts fires? Flint. Alright, so then the name Frank Flint stuck. This other novel I'm working on right now is called Cards of the Devil. I don't just write stories about the devil, it just happens. So Cards of the Devil has a character whose name changes over the years because he has to change his identity to stay alive. And so he starts off actually with the name Thomas Schreiber. And Thomas is my middle name. When you write, it's kind of like, have you heard that thing in a dream, where in a dream you're every character? You're the person being chased by the bear, but you're also the bear. Because where else would, in your dream, of course all the characters are you. They're all coming from in here. Same when you write, all the characters are coming from here, so they're still you. They're all kind of you. So in this one, actually, his name, Thomas, that's my middle name. And his last name is Schreiber, which is a German word for writer. He is journaling the story, and it's told from a first-person journal point of view. So he is the writer of the story. That was kind of a fun little, not pun, but a fun little word play that I put in there. I also wrote a play, which is accessible on my website, called Lustful Youth. And in that play, there is a character named Walt Falk. And the main character, his name is Walter. Well, he prefers Walter. And that was, when I wrote that, I was in college, becoming an English major. St. Norbert College, represent. So I was just a young buck, young English major, writing what he sees around him. William Faulkner and Walt Whitman. So I mean, Walter Falk, and then someone calls him Walt Falk, which he hates, but that name kind of sticks because he's kind of a dweeb. The other reasoning for picking names as well is to illuminate character. So he was kind of a fastidious statistician and a dweeb at the same time, and Walt kind of, well, did the two things. The name Walt Falk made him kind of dweeby sounding and kind of nerdy, and Walter is kind of a, to me, a fuddy-duddy name almost, or a dweeby, fuddy, nerdy kind of name. But Walt also remembers Walt Disney, and within the story of Lustful Youth, the play, Walt is called to create things, a magical world. He's called to create this thing, and he doesn't know how to do that, but he kind of does. So that name fits him really well. What's in a name? It's important to name somebody something. They got to be called something, and the name might as well have some extra weight to it. It's like a bonus theme that you can throw in there, a little bonus extra Space. Put some thought into it. Put some historical thought into the name. I have a character in the book I'm working on, the novel. His name was Eric. I picked it kind of a douchebag sounding name. Eric. It was too modern of a douchebag sounding name because it takes place in the 1920s at the time. I switched it to Heinrich, which is the German name for Eric. And then at some point he switches it to, he changes his name from Heinrich to Eric, but with a K, which is a big douchebaggy move. Excuse the phrase douchebaggy. So a lot of thought can be put into these names, and it's nice to have some historical context to a name, or extra bonus meaning to a name, or just how the name makes you feel. But you should think about it a little bit. Not everyone in your book should be named Steve. It's going to be hard to read. The writing assignment is to create a name. It's a short writing assignment. Create a character. Decide what kind of character that is. When they exist in history, what their occupation and hobbies are, what kind of person are they? Are they a nice person? Are they a mean person? Are they a smart, witty person? Do they have evil intent? Are they supernaturally inclined? I don't know. These are all options you can have. Decide what the character is and when that character exists, and then find a name and research some names. Like go back. You can type in like names from the 1920s. There's a website for everything, and then look one up and find one that fits. It feels right for you. It's the same thing parents do when they name their kids. All right, so that is it for how to write good. Visit the website essercon.com. Take a look around there. Tell me how to improve that website. All my writing up there is for free with a suggested donation. Or not, but more importantly, tell me that you're reading it or that you're producing it. If it's a play and you want to produce it, go, please, produce, enjoy the play. They're all fun, they're funny, then they're all very producible. They've been produced, so do them, but let me know. I want to see pictures. I want to hear reaction. I want to know how people are enjoying things. We're gonna have lots of fun together. Ready? Okay, so go write good.